NRUF Form 502 Overview. The purpose of this session is to provide an overview of the Numbering Resource Utilization Forecast Report, or NRUF, FCC Form 502. In this session, we will cover NRUF in general, that is, the NRUF filing requirements, methods of submission, and NAS user registration for NRUF. And then we will review the Form 502 worksheets, including company information, the utilization worksheets, and the forecast worksheets. Per the FCC's Numbering Resource Optimization, or NRO orders, all service providers that obtain telephone number resources from the NANPA, the pooling administrator, or as an intermediate carrier, shall file FCC Form 502 on or before February 1 for the preceding 6-month reporting period ending December 31st, and on or before August 1 for the preceding 6-month reporting period ending June 30th. The three most popular methods to submit an NRUF are to use the NANPA Administration System, or NAS Online User Interface, by email with Form 502 attached as an Excel workbook, and finally by electronic file transfer, or FTP. When we review the Form 502 worksheets later in this session, we will be reviewing the worksheets as displayed in the Excel workbook. When submitting an NRUF, the NAS registration of the person listed in the NRUF must be active, and NRUF must have been selected as a resource subscription for that person's NAS registration. To obtain a copy of the Form 502 workbook, go to the NANPA website, www.nanpa.com. On the website, go to Services on the left-hand side of the screen, then select NRUF Data Collection and Analysis. We will be reviewing the worksheets for the Geographic Form 502. On the NRUF main page for the Geographic Form 502, double-click on NRUF Form 502. This is the company information page of Form 502. The first field that you will have to complete is the parent company name field. For service provider name, the reporting carrier must populate the service provider name of the NRUF with the exact name that corresponds to the service provider OCN, as indicated in NECA records, as also published in the LERG Routing Guide Volume 1. The email address field must match an active NAS user profile for the OCN listed in the service provider OCN field. The service provider OCN is a 4-place alphanumeric code that uniquely identifies providers of local telecommunications service. The service provider FRN, or FCC registration number, is a 10-digit number that is assigned to an entity that does business with the FCC. NRUF Form 502 has 4 worksheets available for reporting utilization of telephone numbering resources. Primary carriers are those service providers that receive numbers directly from NANPA or the pooling administrator. And intermediate carriers are those service providers that receive numbers directly from another service provider. A definition of rural carrier is listed in the NRUF Geographic Job Aid located on the NANPA website, but you have to make the determination as to whether or not your company is rural. Now let's complete a utilization worksheet. I have selected a U1 for non-rural primary carriers. Notice that the company information entered on the company information page of the workbook has been transferred to the U1. NPA NXX-X on the worksheet designates the thousands block, or 1,000 telephone numbers for which you are providing a utilization report. A rate center must be listed for the thousands block. Each utilization worksheet has 5 usage categories. Assigned numbers are numbers working in the public switched telephone network under an agreement such as a contract or tariff at the request of specific end users or customers for their use, or numbers not yet working and have a service order pending. Numbers that are not yet working and have a service order pending for more than 5 days shall not be classified as assigned numbers. Intermediate numbers are numbers that are made available for use by another telecommunications carrier or non-carrier entity for the purpose of providing telecommunications service to an end user or customer. An exception to this requirement is numbers ported for the purpose of transferring an established customer service to another service provider, in which case the numbers are classified as assigned by the porting carrier and are not counted by the receiving carrier. Reserved numbers are numbers that are held by service providers at the request of specific end users or customers for their future use. Numbers held for more than 180 days shall not be classified as reserved. Aging numbers are disconnected numbers that are not available for assignment to another end user or customer for a specified period of time. Numbers previously assigned to residential customers may be aged for no more than 90 days. Numbers previously assigned to business customers may be aged for no more than 365 days. Administrative numbers are numbers used by telecommunications carriers to perform internal administrative or operational functions necessary to maintain reasonable quality of service standards. When 500 telephone numbers are added to the assigned category, notice that the available numbers and utilization percentage categories are populated for you automatically. Additional thousands blocks can be added to the information in the line directly below the prior entry, and check the data before submitting can be selected to calculate the available numbers and utilization percentage. Form 502 has 6 worksheets available for forecasting. The worksheets for initial resources are for those areas you will be serving for the first time. The worksheets for growth resources are for additional thousands blocks or codes in areas where you already have resources. Now let's complete a forecast worksheet, the F1B. The entries on this worksheet are for the quantity of thousands blocks that you are forecasted to need for the applicable year. Year 1 on all forecast forms refers to resources needed in the current year. The forecast is a 5-year forecast for the February 1 submission and a 4.5-year forecast for the August 1 submission. After you have completed your Form 502, attach it to an email and send it to cocos@newstar.com for new submissions or rev-cocos@newstar.com for revisions. The complete instructions for Form 502 are located in the far right tab in the workbook. The NRUF geographic and non-geographic job aid documents, which supplement the instructions, are located on the NANPA website. Thank you for watching this video. For questions, please contact the NANPA Help Desk at nanpa-login@newstar.biz or 866-623-2282.